I've been riding in the metal, got all designer on me. Bitch, I'm so fly, don't matter. I wanted to feel the V12 when I was riding in Atlanta.
What's up, witches? This is Eisen. Today I'm going to be reacting to videos that I made directly when quarantine started at the time. I just want to see what went on and what's different. So I'm going to be reacting to 3 effects of quarantine.
What's up, witches? This is Eisen.
Okay,
Today's
first
video
of
is
all,
about
this freaking quality. That's just really yikes. One thing on this channel is I gotta get better at quality. In fact, right now I'm recording on the highest quality webcam we've ever had. I don't even know if we've even had another webcam in this house. I guess I gotta just start putting money into this setup, you know?
quarantine. I've come to you from out of my house because quarantining in your frickin' house is stupid. Really, all you need to do is just stay away from people.
Yeah, so first of all, fricking a ton of my quarantine content fricking went definitely sour. Aged so badly. It aged like frickin' milk. I went back and looked at a lot of my old opinions regarding COVID. They were, let's say they were a little anti-mask, because at the time that it came out, we didn't know a whole lot about the disease in general. My dad thought it was a regular flu, and therefore I thought the exact same freaking thing. We didn't have a lot of information back then. They got at least some information about COVID right, but only at the very end. They weren't taking time at all to make sure their information was absolutely 100% correct. They were just jumping on the trend of talking about the whole COVID thing as quickly as they could, which is not a good business practice, even in journalism. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves.
Pretty easy to do. Don't be close to other people. And just don't be inside these certain type of surfaces that get germs on them. Today's video.
Yeah, so I'm right about the whole don't share an area with somebody type thing. But at the same time, I would go a lot further than just don't be close to people. During times like this, I only have a few frickin' friends, at most anyway. I mean, people just stop making themselves available to me. People will just stop answering my text anyway, 'cause that's just how this generation is. It's hard to fricking have friends to begin with, let alone during COVID. I guess I'm lucky in that regard. But once the actual information has come out, it's not just stupid government people trying to sell us their journalism snake oil, then I actually came to agree with all these harsh restrictions that they were imposing on us. But I still think that if you live in a smaller area, you should definitely be allowed to leave the house. That's a basic human right. And we shouldn't have to move out into the fricking bush and be homeless people to have that right. But if you're in a big city, stay away from outside, because on my street, probably about maximum 50 people walk up and down it every 24-hour period of time, and that's including the same walk of people going up and down. I mean, there are not a lot of people. That is a very, very extremely high estimate. It's probably realistically 20 people, if that. We don't get a whole lot of traffic on my road, but if you're in the city, it's at least 100. I don't even know, because I've never lived in the city.
Video is about the effects of quarantine from my perspective. I have done this many times before where
That voice sounds like garbage.
just stayed inside for a while. In fact, I spent most of my teenage years.
I freaking miss the way my teeth used to look. They were so beautiful.
The first effect is anger. I'm a very high energy person, so if I can't get out and party, basically frickin' run around, dance, do anything, scoot, still having all that energy, and I end up just being really angry.
I gotta say, it's really hard to focus on what exactly I'm saying and how to respond to it when there's so much fricking wind blowing in my ear. I mean, what is this last fricking night when I was calling my homie while walking around downtown? Fricking yikes.
It just makes life.
I gotta say, all these effects are probably the same for me now as they were back then. It's just that I would define them in different terms. That's really just how growing up works.
A lot more hard for me when I lose my motivation like that.
I mean, oh my frick, could we not afford subtitles back then or something?
And I can't just sit in my house and frickin' go that way. I've never gotten into the habit of doing that. Basically, my frickin' subliminal philosophy is that nobody sees what I'm doing, and it doesn't result in me seeing anything new, or basically doing anything new. It has no point. When I'm outside, I see a lot of stuff.
If I had put subtitles on this video, I would be able to listen to it and actually absorb what I'm saying without having to fricking listen to.
You walk long
Yeah,
distances,
frickin' what the hell?
get to eat a frickin' bagel on the road.
If I had an assistant, I would be able to have faith in my ideas of doing this, but it's also possible that I was trying to upload daily back then.
You walk long distances, get to eat a frickin' bagel on the road.
I agree with
My
you.
parents always keep my house too warm. Now that I'm on testosterone, it's even warmer than me than it used to be.
This is very true. I have been very warm. I very regularly spend several hours out in the cold, even though it is winter, because I just like being outside, and sometimes I don't want to fricking be at home, because I'm a damn adult.
You just get to feel and see a lot of new things. You get new people to talk to you when you're outside.
This is how I met my current best friend. I was at Superstore, there was the homie there, and I said, "Dog, I remember talking to you at the gas station." I wiggle my tongue. Let's just frickin' hang out, and so basically, she's pretty much the only friend I've frickin' been having throughout this whole time. And Greg frickin' lives with me now, so there's him, but I've really been hanging out with 2 people and then sometimes a third. And that's only because he lives in the surrounding area.
Without all those things, doing any type of working out or running around type of thing.
What the hell am I talking about working out? I haven't fricking done that in forever. It was good to be working out at the beginning of COVID. It's just not something I want to do all the time. If I had some help with my YouTube videos, I'd gladly do that again. It's just big oof. I would really love to fricking partner with somebody. I couldn't even fricking say how much that would mean to me and my channel as a whole, because I want to do this whole thing by myself, but at the same time, I've got to have someone looking out for me. I am a lawless creature, and I don't have faith in my abilities pretty much at all. The only working out I ever fricking do now is walk for 3+ hours or be in the cold for maybe 5 hours until it gets dark. I really like climbing the rocks if it hasn't been rainy or extremely windy. And of course, I've got to be wearing something with decent pockets while I do it. I'm not going to go out frickin' climbing the rocks in my Allbirds, so that's definitely off the table some days.
10 o'clock dance parties when I was 14. Still being downstairs and still having all this energy because I hadn't exercised or gone outside or gone to hang out with friends.
Yeah, that really fricking confused me talking about dance parties. When does that ever happen? Definitely what I did way back. I can't grasp any of the audio of this video. It's just horrific to listen to.
We would just dance. I would put on some of my tunes, put my headphones on, and I would dance to whatever it was. Usually Vocaloids music. I'm not gonna lie.
I fricking love telling stories of my youth and fricking looking back on them. This whole video wasn't really commentary on the whole COVID thing. It was more of a commentary on, oh, young homies, get your life together. You don't want to spend so much time away from taking care of your health and getting things done. But at the same time, I have come to really not regret my decision to, well, it wasn't really my decision to stay completely away from any of society. I wasn't made to socialize, so I didn't have to do it. But I fully do not regret that decision at this point in my life. I've stayed more myself than I have a product of being around someone else, and some of the people I've been around have been extremely bad for me. So, honestly, I'm glad. I mean, as much as I want to stay myself, I have to be around at least one person for a day in the span of 2 weeks. That's just a basic right and faucet of my health that I have to take care of. If I were not to have that, it would be very disastrous. But it also just gives me the motivation to do things.
The reason I haven't been around people is that they haven't been keeping in touch with me, which is often true. So basically,
Yeah, it's just advice for young people. Things that they don't do. I don't even think I clocked a whole lot of views on this one. Let's see. I just looked up 3 and 5 videos came up. 6 views! 6 views! I put frickin' COVID in the name for 6 views. The hell I did! Holy frick, what a damn ripoff. It's gotta be the thumbnail, it's gotta be the thumbnail. Oh frick. A thumbnail that isn't even widescreen. Frickin' classic. Absolutely classic.